Good evening. I finally won. The kids are asleep. Yay! Mommy for the win. How are you all doing? How are you all doing? Lovely, lovely day. It's Thursday, which means tomorrow is Friday. Daddy's coming home and I can sleep all weekend. Oh, God. I hope you're all well. And so today's topic is about sex. Working mothers and sex. Scheduled sex. Where are we talking about sex? So there's this common theme I've seen lately because my business, my job is based on empowering working mothers to enjoy life. Hi Yolanda, hi. Are you okay? It's empowering working mothers and allowing them, giving them an opportunity to enjoy working mom's life by increasing their energy so that they have electric relationships at home and they have laser focus at work and produce results. And also they can be confident enough to present themselves, lead a big company, and they can enjoy their confidence even when they come back home and they're spending time with their partner. And also helping women increase their perception and helping their perception so that they can always know that they're not just women. They are human beings, people with the right to enjoy life just as well as men do, even if they're working, even if they're not. So I do talk to a lot of working mothers. Hi, Nick. Hi, darling. How are you? I do talk to a lot of working mothers. And a common theme that's come up this week, because I've gone a bit bonkers airing videos quite a lot this week, more than I've ever done in a long time. A common theme that's come up is sex. A lot of working mothers find that sometimes they don't have enough energy to enjoy intimacy. They don't have enough energy, that sometimes people are ending up having intimacy with their partner once a week. Oh, no, once a month, not once a week. Once a week. Right, I'm just gonna share this so that so that it's streaming and I can get more people to come and have a discussion, have a conversation with me. So a lot of working mothers find that at the end of the day, they don't have enough energy to have intimacy with their partners, to have intimacy and to just enjoy, just natural life, isn't it? Everybody needs a bit of nookie. That's what I used to call it. Everybody needs a little bit of intimacy, especially if you're in a relationship. It's the one thing that connects us on a different level to just having a conversation, right? And sometimes I've spoken to people. I've actually left a group that had a couple that was leading this group of entrepreneurs, and the couple was suggesting that you should schedule your relationship. Oh, hi, darling. Hi, Jade. Hi, you okay? And they were saying that you should schedule your intimacy and have your intimate time put in a calendar so that you're both ready for it. And when it comes to bedtime, you both get into bed and you do the deed. I find that really cringy. Right, before we carry on with the discussion, I just want you all to understand that this is not a judgmental space. This is not a judgmental space. My whole mission is to empower people to do the right thing that protects their well-being, that protects their health on a massive scale, so that they never do anything that is going to make them have stress, anxiety, depression, that's going to impact the way their body looks, feels, and behaves. Because my biggest mission is to give people energy, to give working mothers energy, to help them to find tips, tactics, and strategies to always stay energetic enough to perform as well as they need to in every single part of their life. So this is not a judgmental space at all. In fact, this is more of an empowerment space. So I can give you my side of the story and you can talk to me and tell me your side of the story. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about this. So scheduled sex. I think scheduled sex is not healthy. I don't know what you think. Put in the comments, just put in the comment what you think about if you had to schedule intimacy with your partner. Would you find that healthy? Would you find that productive? Would you find that when it came to the actual day, you would actually get it done? And what would drive you to do it? What would drive you to do that? I think schedule sex is not healthy because intimacy is not a job, right? I don't think anybody should ever have to schedule when they're going to get intimate with the person that they're going to get intimate with, especially if it's your partner, your husband, your other half, somebody you are close to and you spend time with and all of that. I don't think it's healthy to schedule intimacy because it's not a job. A relationship is a relationship, and you should only participate in intimacy when you feel like it, when your body feel like it. Yolanda says, not really, it's not spontaneous. Yeah, scheduling it is not spontaneous, and it adds pressure to perform. Yeah, absolutely, that's what I think. And I think as soon as there's pressure to perform, you don't enjoy it. You end up begrudging the person you've had it with because they might enjoy it, but have you actually enjoyed it? And if you haven't enjoyed it, how do you feel about them afterwards? Is there cuddles afterwards, or is people rolling over and looking the other way? Is it, it's starting to feel a little bit like a contract. And a lot of times I find people treat marriage like a contract. It shouldn't be like that. It should be a friendship. It should be fun. It should be connected, and it should be enjoyed by both parties involved. It should be electric. Intimacy should just be like, wow, we both did this and we both wanted it, and I'm happy that I've given myself to that person and they actually enjoyed what happened. The minute that it feels labored and forced, one party is bound to feel violated, unattracted to the other person, and unhappy. And that's not good. That's not good for your well-being. That's not good for the relationship itself, because it's going to make you drift apart quite a lot. And it's not good for your well-being as a human being. It's not good for you to give bits of yourself away when you don't want to give bits of yourself away. It shouldn't be like that. Scheduled sex equals sleep equals what? Passion is spontaneous, and scheduled sex can be restricted. It should be spontaneous. It should be beneficial to both parties. But what makes us women think that we can just roll over and give it when we don't feel like it? Because let's be honest, when you're working, when you've got children, things are bound to make you feel tired to a point where you don't feel like staying up and waiting until the other person is going to turn you on or you're going to turn them on. So no, scheduled sex is not a good idea, because then it puts a lot of pressure for you to perform and for you to make it happen. But for whose sake? Whose sake are you doing it? If you're scheduling it for yourself, make sure the person you're scheduling it with is actually into that, and they're agreeing that they want it too, and they're going to do it because they want it too. But we shouldn't just roll over and give it. What makes us women think that we should just roll over and give it as and when it's needed by, I don't know, by the person that we're giving it to? And the one thing that comes up in my head is social conditioning. The words that and the terminologies that society have always said, have always accepted and normalized to stereotype both genders, makes us think that men are always up for it, because that's the word that that's the terminology that everybody uses. Men are always up for it. Hot-blooded male. They've got what else? I've written it down. Help me out here. Men are players. So they're expected to always be ready and always want it. And what's the other one? Women are always called what's that headache? The headache thing that people always say when she doesn't want to do it. She says she's got a headache, and they're always too busy with children and what have you. But it doesn't have to be like that. You can work. You can enjoy work, you can be a mum, you can enjoy being a mum, and you can have an electric relationship with your partner and have as much intimacy as you both want or you both need. And it should be connected. This is why I talk about communication a lot. When the lines of communication are broken in your relationship, especially within yourself, before you even get into trying to communicate with the person you are in a relationship, if the lines of communication, if you don't have enough communication for you to be able to expel all of that energy that is pent up within yourself, you always find it hard to connect with the people around you, especially the ones that you create children with, who you create life with, especially the person that you are in a partnership with, the person who's supposed to be your best friend. A relationship should be give and be given. You should be connected to a level where you are both in a partnership and that person enjoys spending time with you and you enjoy spending time with them, and there's no pressure and there's no strain. There's no person expecting that at some point that person is going to give me something. There's no person expecting that I have got to give something to somebody else in order for us to be connected. You can actually go through a relationship. Imagine the relationship you have with your best friend, the person you tell everything. You don't even have to sleep with her or him in order for your relationship to be electric, in order for you to enjoy spending time with each other. Your relationship with your partner should be like that. It should feel like you're in a relationship with your best friend, the person you tell everything, and they're always on your side. Even when you're wrong, they're on your side to a point of saying to you, do you know what, that is your choice, that is your decision, but I think you could do it better, but they respect your opinion, just like your best friend does. And they'll still pull you up when you do something wrong, and you still realize that they're doing it for the sake of love. Love itself is never scheduled. So why should sex be scheduled? It is, I think scheduling sex is a road that is going down the wrong road to inevitable demise in your relationship. And it shouldn't be like that. When you're in a relationship with the person you love, and the person you said I do to, or the person you said let's have children with, it should be electric. And if it's not electric, work on the cause. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's because I don't have energy, or I'm not attracted to them anymore, or what have you. But work on the reasons behind why you can't actually find yourself attracted to that person enough to want to open that channel of communication, that channel of connection, where you are both intimate to a level where he enjoys it, you enjoy it, happy days, you finish having sex and you cuddle and you talk until 2 a.m. You know, I mean, it's a bit of an iffy subject to talk about, but we should talk about these things. In life, we go through so many things that we are not allowed to talk about. In life, we go through so many things we're not allowed to talk about. And it shouldn't be like that. Because the minute we can't talk about things, the minute people start getting depressed and anxious, because they're always worried, they're always worrying why everybody else has got a good life and they don't have a good life, but they can't talk about the things that make their life not a good life, because everybody tells them that they should not talk about the things that make their life not a good life. It's a vicious circle, and we should break that circle. Open that channel of communication and be connected to the people you're with in your life. I remember having a conversation with someone, it's quite a few years ago now, before I started working. And she was saying, oh, we were so disconnected to a point where he would come, I would know that every single Friday he would come to my bed where I was sleeping, and he would just say, well, it's time now. And then we would just have intimacy. Well, it's not intimacy. We can't call it intimacy. That's not intimacy. That's rape. Because if you don't want to have sex, you shouldn't have sex. That's somebody just taking advantage of the fact that they are with you. So they are old part of your body to a point where they're just going to take it. And that's wrong. That's wrong to a very, very bad level. To a level where you're going to resent each other and you're going to go separate ways. And if it's come to that point, you've got to work on the reasons why you're not attracted to that person anymore. why you don't have energy to be intimate or to be connected with that person anymore, or why you don't have the time to actually explore what makes you connected and makes both of you go back to feeling like teenagers again. Because that's what a relationship should be like. It's almost as if when people get into a relationship and they have children, or they get married, or they make it formal in some way, it's almost as if the intimacy dies. It's almost as if you kill the connection by having a piece of paper or by having children. But it shouldn't be like that. It should be the start, the beginning of the rest of your life together. It should be the beginning of a stronger friendship that is electrified to a point where you just know, where you're sitting there watching TV, you look at each other and you both just know that it's going to happen, and it happens, and then you both come out of it going, oh my goodness, I am so connected to this person because they are my everything and I love them, and I don't have to feel like I have to give parts of myself when I don't feel like it. And when I was talking to my friend a few years ago, and she was saying, oh, he just comes over on a Friday and he just says it's time, and then I just roll over, and then when he's done, he just goes back to his bedroom. I felt really, really sad. And at that time, I felt like I couldn't say to my friend that your husband is raping you. I couldn't, because again, it goes back to that thing that society has got a lot of things that we can't talk about. Because there's a big, massive taboo about rape. The people who are raped feel like they can't speak about the fact that they've been raped. And the people who rape go around boasting because they've just controlled somebody to a point of silencing them. And they've just taken away somebody's right to say no. And they just feel like they're bigger than that person. And that's really, really sad. And we've got to break down this lack of communication. We've got to break down this lack of civility in society that makes people think that they can carry on every single day living a half-hearted life where they just have to put up with things that diminish their right to be a human being who has got to be healthy, mind, body, and spirit. And I felt really, really sorry for my friend. And to this day, I have never broached that subject to actually say to my friend, actually, your husband was raping you. That shouldn't have happened. You should have said, no, I don't want to have sex with you because I don't feel attracted to you anymore, and I don't feel connected with you anymore. And something has got to change in our relationship. We either work at it and we talk about it and we fix what's going on in our relationship, or we go our separate ways. And if you love each other, if two people love each other and they really both want to make it work, then there's always room for improvement. There's always room to open that connection again. There's always a way of working it out. It all depends on how both of you are invested so much in your relationship that you care about each other's feelings. You care about his or her feelings, and he or she cares about your feelings. And both of you actually say, do you know what, this is not working and we've got to fix it. Now we've got to actually speak to each other. We've got to actually connect with each other and go back to feeling like teenagers again. Go back to feeling like we did in our 20s, before the kids came, before we walked down the aisle and we called each other Mr. and Mrs. Before anything that happened. So we need to heal the wounds that are lying in your relationship. We need to heal whatever's happened in your relationship that is stopping you from being connected enough to your partner to not have to schedule sex. Intimacy, sex should not be scheduled at all. I could never see myself picking out a calendar and saying, Nick, coming this Friday at 7 o'clock, as soon as the children are in bed, you get your kit off, I get my kit off, and we're gonna do it. Oh my God, I would literally I'd be dying inside if it got to a point of having to do that. And I want to empower the women that I work with to be able to have that connection, to be able to have that confidence, to be able to have that energy, to be able to have that level of communication with their partner, to actually say, I don't have to discuss this. We are connected at a level that we both love, and we are both going to actually be intimate as and when we feel like we're going to be intimate. I don't know. Let's see who's watching. Rachel, hi Ray, and Nick and Yolanda. I don't know. What do you all think? I mean, Yolanda's already said she says intimacy should not be scheduled. It should be spontaneous. You know, being spontaneous makes it even more fun. It makes it even more exciting, and I think it should be like that. Life should be exciting. Why should it be labored? Why should life be difficult? We shouldn't accept a difficult life. We shouldn't accept a half-hearted life. And we only do because society has always told us that there are certain things we should accept because everybody else is doing it. And this is why, like, a lot of times, quite a lot of people find me difficult to get on with, because I don't normally do what society finds normal and easy. I find myself going left when everybody else is going right quite a lot of times, because I like questioning things. I like living my life to my limits. I like living my life to my own making, to my design. And I want to empower the women that I work with to always live a life that they design, to always live a life with a smile like this. And to, you know, when it comes to intimacy in your relationship, you should get into it with a smile, knowing that it's going to be fruitful, knowing that you're doing it for the right reasons. Ray's just sending over some laughing faces. I don't know. I want to hear what you all think about scheduled intimacy, scheduled sex. Personally, I think that if you're in a relationship, both parties should go into it the right way. Because if you don't, if one person is gaining, you will breed resentment in the relationship. I can't remember the statistic now about how many women actually enjoy intimacy as compared to men. Apparently, men, there's a higher number of men who enjoy intimacy than there is a higher number of women who enjoy intimacy. And that's because of a lot of things that happen to women or around women or about women that stops us opening that door of connection to be able to enjoy that level of high. And, you know, it's a beautiful level, and everybody should have the right to be there. Everybody should have the right to actually enjoy intimacy, and everybody should have the right to enjoy a beautiful life. So, yeah, I'm going to go. If you're watching this video on replay, just make sure you comment and tell me what you think. If I'm talking rubbish, make sure you tell me that I'm talking rubbish, and let's discuss this. Let's have a conversation. So I'm going to go. Good night. Lovely talking to you, and thank you all for watching.